What's up, guys? And I'm coming to you with another game review. Today, we're looking at Deathmark for the Nintendo Switch. Now, this game also came out on PC and PlayStation 4, I believe. And Deathmark is a very interesting game. Now, it plays like a horror-based point-and-click type of game, which plays to its advantage. Now, the premise of Deathmark is pretty much there are evil spirits that go out, and people randomly get cursed by this mark that shows up on their arms that when the time comes, they're basically set to die. Now, the only way to survive is basically to defeat the spirits that put the mark on you. Now, I know that sounds basic enough. However, within Deathmark, the game itself is very linear. It plays very straightforward. It's hard to really F up. But where this game shines is the atmosphere it creates. Now, this game, it plays like an indie game, definitely, and it is an indie game, to my knowledge. It creates this world, and the story is par none. Like, it's a beautiful story, and beautiful in the sense that, I mean, it's very well written, and it will F you up with the plot twist that it takes. And also the music. In this game, it plays so well to what's going on in the story that, like, you get kind of eerie out and creeped out when you're playing this game just because of the world that this has created. Now, you do meet other people along the lines that all have the mark on their arm, and it isn't just one spirit that puts this mark on you. So as you meet the other characters, they've all been cursed by different people, and as you kind of defeat the spirits along the way, some of them get freed from the curse, and they just kind of go on their merry way. You don't see them ever again. Others kind of stick with you. And all these different characters, you get to kind of go into their personalities. You get to kind of feel who they are. You get to kind of learn who they are. And they all kind of have really weird backstories to them, which makes the game really cool. Now, for a point-and-click adventure game, I've never really been a fan. And I thought this game was going to be really boring for me actually going into this game. I didn't really do any research on it. I just kind of looked at it. Cover looked cool. I thought this was going to be a third-person action game. So boy was I surprised when I put this in, and I was hoping to control my character, and yeah, that's not what happens here. This is a point and click game by all means necessary. And you know, when I first started playing, it was a little bit of a letdown, but once I got into the story of the game, I was completely fine with it. It does play kind of slow at points. There all are boss fights though, which are really interesting because you kind of have to have at points certain characters as your partners, because you do get to kind of partner up with the people that you meet along the way, and they all kind of had different abilities that others don't. So to get further in the game at points, you kind of have to backtrack and set yourself to having the right partner, and it really doesn't dawn on you who should be on your team until you hit the situation and you kind of remember a little bit of their backstory, which I thought kind of added a little bit of complexity to this game, which was cool. Now, the boss fights are cool because pretty much you get this really weird 3D model of the enemy that kind of pops up on you, and you have to use the items that you've kind of gained within the chapters, or within the current chapter, to fight them. And you can kind of pair items up together to do like a combo move, which actually does the damage you need it to do, and you can kind of tell based on if you're hitting combos whether or not you're fighting the battle correctly. Now, this game isn't long. I beat it in about 9 hours, which is kind of what I expected. It's only like a $30 game, and I was just looking at something quick to play. However, I very much enjoyed this game. Especially for a Nintendo Switch game, a game that you can kind of pick up and play anywhere because of the Switch's capabilities. I could see this game being great for like car rides and plane rides, and with October being right amongst us, I wanted to play something a little scarier for Halloween, which is probably what I'm going to be doing all through the month of October. Now, is this game for everybody? Now, the game is rated M. The game does have little bits of comedic spots here and there. But all in all, it is a very dark game. It's a very twisted game. It's a game that makes you kind of, if you're into dark and twisted stuff, you'll be into this game. the thing is, there isn't voiceover, so everything is text based. So you do have to read. There is some like Japanese here and there. The whole story takes place in what I want to say is Japan because the characters are Asian of sorts. And the game in itself, the art style does look very comic booky, and just very artsy, if that makes sense. And I definitely am down for it. When playing this game, I thought it was beautiful. For what it was worth, I thought it was very cool to see something done this way, where it was a point and click adventure, but the way the story went, it felt like a graphic novel. Um, where you could tell they definitely didn't just put stuff together for you to try to figure out. Like they wanted to tell a story with this game, and they did just that. And I definitely would recommend Deathmark to anyone who's looking for a little bit of an interesting, a little bit of a different game, and just something that you could play just chilling. Like you don't have to actually be up and have to worry about dodging stuff and stuff like that. Like this game is definitely a laid back game that tells a great story, and I would be down if they made a sequel, but the way the game played, I can't really see there being a sequel to it. And I think if you play the game, you'll understand, but that doesn't make it a bad game. Check this one out, guys. I definitely recommend Deathmark for the Nintendo Switch. If you've played it, leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, I'll catch you later, guys. See you, bye.